Kyle Field, home to the Texas A&M Aggies, the Coral Cadets, the world-famous 12th man, Lady Reveille, and from early indications, a whole throng of Aggies ready to make some noise. Little gets the blood boiling, quite like a rivalry game. Barbs, shots, trash talk, things that go on throughout the week will now all be settled on this field. As we'll see a team fresh and ready to go off a bye week, the Texas Longhorns. Texas A&M set to kick off to christen this game. Fair catch called for and made. So the Texas Longhorns offense will start this game off. The Lone Star State has a ton of rivalries, but this one outshines all the rest.
Yeah, the three of us have had an opportunity to call this game in the past, and you can just feel the tradition when these two teams take the field, right, David? You got the 12th man, you got Bevo. This is special.
You got one side that thinks they're way better than the other side thinks they're way better. I'll let you decide which one picks which, but every year, no love lost.
This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. Quarterback, quick pass to the receiver. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there. The burnt orange just smoked the Aggies the last time these two got together.
And anytime you get beat down by your rival, like Reese was talking about, it stings. And it's talked about for a long time, and your coaches do not let you forget it.
And these two teams feel it on the recruiting trail too, right? Texas's blowout win last year really helped them this past offseason, so they're looking to capitalize and see if they can go 2 years in a row.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. So you get stuffed on first down. You had an idea of what you wanted to do on second, but I'm guessing it's back to the drawing board now.
Yeah, you got to figure out who you are and what you are. What's your next best play? Or what is the...
Hit the gas, kid. Wide open ahead. Touchdown, Texas! And once he found daylight, it was Katie bar the door, baby. And it feels good to land that first big punch against a rival, doesn't it?
No doubt. In a game like this, too, you just want to be executing it at a high level early. So, David, that's got to feel great getting on the board first.
And settles everyone down. All the nerves, all the emotion of this rivalry game. Now everybody can kind of settle in because you know you already got a touchdown on the board.
Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. The Aggies offense taking the field. First chance we have to see them today. Here are our impact players for this game, and it goes beyond executing an assignment to make an impact in the game.
Yeah, obviously we were talking to both coaching staffs this week, and we asked them who needs to step up and play well. They immediately pointed to these guys right here. They are the key to their respective teams.
Yeah, and they don't always show up in the box score, but these are the guys that are the leaders. These are the guys getting everybody organized and have to play well for their team to succeed.
Texas A&M going up tempo. Linebackers trying to create some confusion. Off play action on first down. And the ball is intercepted. Looking for more room. He is finally out of bounds, but he was smelling that end zone on that return.
And that's why as quarterbacks, you cannot telegraph the pass. You cannot stare down your receivers because these defenders, they're watching you. And that defender knew exactly where the QB was going with that football, and that's why he picked it off.
Able to make the stop after a gain of 2 to the 22. These guys have really performed at a high level in SEC play, and the task is to try to keep this groove going.
Yeah, when you start the season like this, man, this is exactly what you drew up. When you're...
Got enough space, and he's on his way. He'll go all the way. Touchdown, Longhorns! The kick is up and good, and put one more on the lead. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. Here he comes with the return. And they'll haul down the returner to start us on the next drive. Texas A&M has it back in the offense, ready to go to work. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground covered. Pick up the first. Pinned just inside their own 20. They need to convert on 3rd and short. From the gun, wants to pass. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9. Texas A&M will have to boot it away. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. He just wanted to get it out of there from his end zone. He's got great speed. He was hoping for a little more running room, but they're able to get him down at the 45. And here comes the Texas offense back on the field. That last drive really productive. David wound up with a touchdown. They'll try to do it again.
Yeah, so I don't expect this offense to change too much, Reese. They had a great drive. They got the touchdown. Everything working. I would expect them to keep pushing this ball downhill.
And just imagine if they could put another touchdown on the board right here. They could capture so much momentum in this game with back-to-back TDs.
And they'll bring him to the ground after a short gain. Did Bevo really get his name after altering a brand on his backside put there by Texas A&M students? So many questions to answer since 1894, guys.
And that's what's so cool about this rivalry. When you have the back and forth and who did what, going all the way back to 1894, Reese's first birthday, what an amazing rivalry.
There have been a lot of good players during that stretch, too. Think about Ricky Williams from the Horns, Johnny Manziel, Texas A&M. So many great coaches have patrolled the sidelines in this rivalry for years.
Sometimes people say, if you're good enough, what's the big deal about going on the road? Well, if you're not careful, you might find out in a spot like this one, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a hostile environment, and you know you're going to be getting the opponent's A-game for this one. They've circled this one all off-season, so they better be ready to bring it today, David.
And the hardest thing to do in college football is to go on the road. Everything about it changes, and you want to shut this crowd up early. You don't want to give them belief, because if it starts to build throughout the game, look out.
The Longhorns are moving quickly down the field. The give to the tailback. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
That is a great play by the defensive end. The most athletic players on the field play defensive end. Yes, you heard me, Jess, Reese. Exactly what I said. Great get off. Great job getting in the backfield, making the play.
And they'll knock him down.
Well, in that down and distance, you're probably expecting them to throw it way down the field to get the first. Instead, they go push pass, and they did catch the defense off guard. And even though that was a big explosive play, David, they still didn't have enough yards to get it.
Well, and catch me off guard is relative. That's what you would say, the offensive player. I would say, listen, we're playing a little bit deeper because we're not going to give up the first down. We react to the short stuff, and obviously that's a quick, easy pass from the offense. Rally up, make the play, live to fight another down.
They'll go with a direct snap. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Texas! They've extended the lead and taken control here in Week 9. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, right back to your game after we update the nation on this one. North Texas looked like a serious force in what can only be described as a dominant win. This is a program that's won before, and they might just add some more hardware before the year is out. It's one game. You don't want to react too much either way, but I think both teams will leave this one with some things to work on moving forward.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there.
I don't think the quarterback made the right read on that play. I know they're asking a lot of this QB. He's got a lot to focus on with the pass game and all the different types of runs that they have in their playbook. But on that play there, that pre-snap look told me to hand it off.
Makes the grab down the middle.
Zone coverage means everybody's looking at the quarterback. So now, when I'm a wide receiver, I got to make sure I know I fit in the hole between these zones. I know where they're dropping to, and I know where I need to get to. Great job by the wide.
And he intercepts it. He was looking for that big return to go with the pick, but he'll set him up in business at the 36.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
Handoff to the single back. Running with pace, changing speed, showing the moves. He's down to the 30. Line getting set on second down. Guys, it is Texas who holds the lead. They largely dominated this first quarter as indicated by the stats. Second down here as they go back to work after the break. Motion by the back forces the defense to adjust. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up.
I like offenses being creative. I'm not sure if that was the best place to call that play. I think this offense needs to think about just doing things a little bit more by the book. They've got a lot of good playmakers. You don't have to reinvent the wheel this early in the game.
They bring him down, but he's got a first and goal from the 10.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on third down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football.
And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Longhorns! They'll try to add another to their lead. Precision blocking up front created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Texas A&M has it back, and we say howdy to the Aggie offense again. After throwing the pick on the last drive, need to take care of the ball this time, Jesse.
We're going to find out a lot about this quarterback right here, too. How does he fight through adversity after that last drive?
Yeah, clear the mechanism, move on. That's a part of it. Like, if you're going to be a great player, you got to learn how to handle these mistakes and move on.
It'll be first and 10 from the 30. They'll run it to the right. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. So first down didn't exactly go according to plan. Let's see what they can dial up on second down.
Reese, I got him right where I want him. Okay, I'm going to throw the football. Now I can get back in shotgun. Let's forget the running game stuff. We're going to play a little pitch and catch and see how good that secondary is.
Finding a way to put that foot in the ground and get it up to the 37-yard line.
And as an offense, having success on a run play like that early in the game just opens up all the possibilities of your playbook moving forward. Play action, running the ball, throwing the ball, screens, anything is at your disposal at this point.
And it's a first down. They'll mark it at the 44.
And the defense brought the blitz on third down, trying to see if they could rattle the quarterback. But how about the poise? He knew where his answer was. He didn't panic or freak out. He just went through his progressions, picked up the first, and we got a fresh set of downs.
And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup. You can work your way down the field with these wide receiver screens, but also look for the opportunity to turn them into chunk plays later.
No doubt, you throw it quickly. You get it to him now. DB comes up, has to make a tackle. Now you fake it maybe a little bit later on. So these plays, they're not huge plays all the time, but they can set up big plays down the road for your offense.
Not the most productive half for this offense so far, but finally starting to get it in gear. First and 10. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. And a good, solid pickup there before the defense knocks him down. Good spot after that 7-yard pickup on first down. It's 2nd and 3. Caught in the backfield, it's Reinbold. And the big fella couldn't elude the cornerback who makes a sure tackle. Guys, this rough start is hardly what they had in mind to start SEC play, and it's not going to get any easier.
Well, no doubt about it. There were big expectations surrounding this program inside SEC play this year, and things haven't necessarily gone their way. They've had to fight a ton of adversity, but, David, they believe they have the leadership in the locker room to turn it around, but it's got to start today.
Yeah, one at a time. Like, we got to start today. We got to find something. We got to find what we're really good at, what we can hang our hat on, so we can start to build some momentum throughout the season. Obviously, not the start we wanted, but we got to point to the next opportunity.
And the Aggies have it with a 1st and 10. They'll run it from the gun. Keeps the legs moving. Drills him with the stiff arm. They'll finally get him stopped at the 1-yard line. What a run there.
Well, it took everything on defense. Just get that guy down on the 1-yard line. He is a monster, Dave.
And if this offense, Jesse, is going to keep doing that, you better bring in reinforcements on that defensive line. Get some big boys, because they're about to punch this thing in the end zone.
He was open, he had it, and he dropped it. Would have been a touchdown. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, I love the coverage on defense. In the red zone, everyone's got their eyes on the quarterback, and they're flying to the football, and you saw that there on the incompletion.
They'll run it. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Aggies! Man, did he show some hops for that one.
Some serious vertical right there. I tell you what, everybody in front of you, hey, I'll go by air if I need to. Good job getting in the air, getting the touchdown.
And they did tack on the extra point. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. They're lining up to kick it off, and he ought to be able to knock this one anywhere he wants after that extra 15 yards with the roughing the kicker. So now the Longhorns take over, and they'll send out the offense. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
We've reached the 2-minute warning, and they will try to build on what has already been a dominant first-half performance. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. Touch pass on the jet sweep. Open. Just an obvious holding call there, and one that just kills an offense's momentum. 2nd down coming up. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half.
Yeah, and listen, the offense has had their way, and they've had so much success and so much production. But listen, at least the defense got a rep. You know, maybe this gets you some...
He's going for it all. He's got it downfield for a huge gain. Running wide open down the gut of the field. Touchdown, Texas! And once he got loose, it was all over. Well, I'm not sure who was closer to the receiver there, the defensive backs or us here in the booth.
That was great execution on offense. Receiver wins the route one-on-one, shows off his speed, gets himself wide open. There was no question. Nice job.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Texas A&M has it back in the offense, ready to go to work. These guys have taken some body blows in the first half, and now a chance to do something to feel a little better going into halftime.
Reese, they got to respond now. They got to put points on the board right here, cut into this deficit, create a little bit of momentum, because this one's going to get out of hand otherwise.
Yeah, there are a lot of offenses out there that might just say, okay, let's just regroup and figure it out. This offense doesn't have time to do that. They've got to be aggressive. They've got to throw it downfield. They've got to score points.
Maybe a little frustrated after that last incompletion. It's 2nd and 10 from the 38. He's looking to throw. Unloads to the wideout. And that is interception number 3 on the day. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
What a big game-changing play. I love when you see defensive players, they jump on the ball like they were the offensive guys. So aggressive, going and getting that pick, creating some big mojo for your team.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13.
Well, there's a statement by the defensive line. First down play, expecting run, and they just dominated up front. Beat their one-on-ones and forced a tackle for a loss.
Listen, I know that's not a huge game, but those run plays add up. They make you tackle the back every single play. Physically, you have to get some guy on the ground. It takes its toll throughout a fourth quarter game.
They've got it just outside the red zone. They'll move the chains. It's at the 21. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. He'll come out throwing on first down. A shot toward the end zone. The pass is incomplete, and the clock will stop with 5 seconds left. On second down, they'll try the field goal to get the points before halftime.
Well, the game plan's been pretty simple offensively, right? They are taking shots, and they're being aggressive throwing it down the field. This guy's already got 2 touchdown passes. We're still in the first half. And on that last one, he was looking for number 3.
Oh, look at Mr. Hands taking the squibber inside the 30. And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Guys, think of all the big-time players who've been a part of this game, and we have a few more vying for that status so far today in an always emotional duel between the Longhorns and the Aggies.
And he's going to try to return this one. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Texas A&M has it back, and we say howdy to the Aggie offense again. Got blown out in the first half, and now just desperate to find anything to generate momentum here in the third quarter.
It just starts with one play, though. Just need one thing to go right for this offense to start to build.
He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. And that'll be incomplete, man. That would have been a big hitter on first down, but second down's coming up.
This quarterback has been struggling to find a rhythm in this game so far. Didn't have a ton of success in the first half, so here he is trying to ignite the offense with a deep shot, but they're not able to come away with the completion.
This guy just oozes toughness when he runs, bangs his way to the 20. You've got a 3rd and manageable, backed up in your own end, but convert here and you get some momentum. They'll try to get the first through the air. Caught, close to the marker, it's Russo. Just needed 3 yards on third down, and they got it with precision execution.
And the QB got the football and got that thing out of his hands. Nice job, nice slant, nice timing route. Throw it to the receiver, get it on his body where he can make the play and get the first down.
Well, it's a nice job by the defender. They're closing the gap with the wide receiver. They're going to complete the hitch pass, but he's able to run right up on him, get him to the ground for a minimal gain.
Still on his feet at the 45. And how about that? What the doctor always ordered, an explosive play to the 40. Texas A&M ready to go with another first down. Red pass, it's complete.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times they'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
On second down, will they go back to the ground game? He'll do it himself. And the defense stops him just short of the first down. Maybe needed a few more chain links to move the sticks. This is the type of play that decides games. Are you tough enough to convert 3rd and short from the 30? A little pre-snap eye candy for the defense. All kinds of room to the right. Touchdown, Texas A&M. He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him.
I think the days of running backs just running downhill are out the window. You better be able to do this. You see the playmaker slipping down the backfield, throw him the football, he'll handle the rest, get in the end zone for the touchdown.
On to attempt the try. smashes it through for the PAT. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Boys, if it's happening in college football, we've got eyes on it. Check this out. Kansas is getting dominated today, and you know, the folks in Lawrence deserve better than this. No excuse ever for this kind of a clunker. They're trailing by 21 to Iowa State. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. The give to the back. Just gets it to the 20, a pickup of 1.
I never know if it's grammatically correct to say a team is being out-physicaled. You hear it a lot in football, though. That's happening in this game. They are just not getting the push they need all game long up front to have any success when they decide to run it.
When he breaks into the open. And another big game for this offense. They are putting explosive pass after explosive pass up in this one. Line gets set, first down. From the gun, the ground game. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, the offensive line had everybody blocked except the defensive end. He was able to sneak into the backfield and get the tackle for once.
Lost 1 on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Quick pass on the fly motion. To the 10. His defense giving up ground as he's finally knocked down at the 26.
It's so hard for a defense to have to stop plays like that because it really forces you to play with great eye discipline. You see the pre-snap motion. Defense doesn't know if he's just running across the field and is going to run a route, if he's going to block, or if he has the football. That time, he was able to outflank the defense and hurt them to get that first down.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. They'll toss it to the left. Just buried it. And he's knocked down, but not before moving the chains.
Man, you're trying to get the ball to your running back in space, and really good job tossing it on the perimeter. What do you need? You need to set the edge. You got to do a good job with the offensive line. And then you need perimeter blocking out wide to hold their own. Do a good job, hold their own. Nice positive game, nice positive toss play.
He rumbles all the way down to the 2-yard line. He gave him a little bit of everything on that one. Turning to the running game on 1st and goal. Touchdown, Longhorns! And the stomping has commenced. And with that extra point, the lead remains in the gargantuan category. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. Out of the end zone. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Texas A&M has it back in the offense, ready to go to work. There's certainly still a hill to climb, but they've got to make sure these drives pay off. Got a touchdown last time. Can they back it up here?
Well, and it's amazing in a football game how sometimes they'll surprise you with what you do. Once you get settled and you realize what's going on, now I'm comfortable with it. Jesse, this offense looked comfortable on its last drive.
They sure did. It looked like they started to find some momentum. So now it's on this defense to stop that, all right? You're a little bit upset based on what just happened the previous drive. You've got to bow up again and go back to what was working earlier in this game.
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. 3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Grabbed over the middle. It's Reinbold. And he was knocked down immediately short of the line to gain. They'll have to make a decision here. 4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. He gets a block. Makes the tackle really strong, disciplined job, and now we have 1 period to play. Guys, it is Texas who holds the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. First down to start the drive after the break. Using his legs, it's Freeman.
He's brought in near the 49-yard line. Brings up 2nd down.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Maybe a 3-yard pickup there. 3rd and long coming up. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. On third down, he drops to throw. With the catch, it's Beard. And he's going to be just short of the first down. He's going to bring up a decision for this coach. On fourth down, they'll try to throw it. Makes the catch past the sticks. He threw that one with some serious heat. This senior quarterback doesn't need a lot of space to get it in there. And the Longhorns with the 1st and 10. They want that clock to run. Powers through the defender. And a nice run there before the defense finally makes the stop.
And what you see late in games, man, those teams that can really run the football and run that clock when they got a lead, you really win a lot more football games. So I think you look for them to be physical down the stretch of this game, try to continue to do this on the ground, continue to eat that clock.
Great job of containing by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. That's exactly what happened.
Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on first down.
And you want to dominate the football game like these guys have all day, dominate the line of scrimmage. You know, turn and hand the ball off to your running back. It's a good recipe. It makes every quarterback better. It makes every OC better. Just turn, hand the football off, especially when you're winning the ball game.
The Longhorns are flying down the field. Running back searching for a hole. He's all the way down to the 3. Showed it all on that run.
Well, it just seems like everything is working for the offense on this drive. Another nice game, this time on the ground.
Keeping it on the ground on 1st and goal. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just added their total. And the extra point just tacks a little bit more onto this huge lead. They march the ball 51 yards for the score. And close the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. He'll take the return and try to improve the field position. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Texas A&M has it back, and we say howdy to the Aggie offense again. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, every time you watch...
And he's running in the open. And the explosiveness, the big gainer gets it to the 49-yard line. That big explosive play carries them into plus territory. They'll snap it 1st and 10 from just across the 50. All kinds of room to throw that one in there.
And man coverage, when they get up in your face, they make things hard. You want to be able to attack the whole field and get them leaning one direction and then break outside like you did there. Nice out-route connection. Nice chemistry between the quarterback and wide receiver.
Nice job by the receiver on the in route there. And how about the speed after he made his break? He was able to actually separate a little bit from the DB, helping out his QB on that one.
He'll get rid of it. He makes the catch. And fired the completion there in the red zone and set up at the 13.
And there was no question in that scenario. That's where the quarterback was going. He knew he had his receiver in a matchup that he liked, running a route where he would find himself open. Nice job between those two.
They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score.
And this offense is going to have to find more explosive plays. It can't just rely on the dink and dunk. It's going to have to find itself and score more points. Listen, they got beat up today. But moving on in the future, they've got some good pieces. They got to find a way to fit them together, create some explosive plays on this offense, because today they've been lacking.
Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can pick up a first down without scoring. 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. And he takes it in the end zone for a touchdown and a little window dressing here at the end of the game.
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, and make plays.
Here's the return from inside his 10. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. Power football with the run. A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior.
Brings up second down.
It's really easy to get caught up in the emotion of a rivalry game. We did, and certainly this was a huge win.
Yeah, and you started, you circled it, you were ready for this team. This is the rivalry you put a lot of stock in all offseason. You're talking about this game in particular. You go out and get the dub. It's a relief because you definitely wanted this team.